All righty. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hello.
How you doing?
All is well. How are you?
I am excellent, my brother. Welcome to the call, sir.
Yes, sir, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome to the call. Good to have you on. All righty. Welcome, everybody. I've got my cup of diamond nectar ready to go. Got my diamond nectar ready to go. Full. Okay. All right. Okay. Hey, Eliana, how are you? Good to see you. We're gonna have some fun tonight. Glad you made it on. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. Welcome, everybody. I know we've got several people coming in on the chat or in the waiting room. We're going to get started here in a moment. If you have not done so, do me a favor. Please state your name and where you are calling in from. We'd like to say hello to you and welcome you on to the Mastermind.
Coach Juarez White from Houston, Texas.
All right, welcome, Juarez White. Who else do we have out there? I love it when you guys get on and you put your phones on mute, you turn your cameras off. I love it when y'all do that. That's such leadership. Now I'm being facetious.
Mayor
But
from Illinois.
Hey, Illinois. I see your coffee gang in the house. How are you?
Deshane, New Jersey.
Hey, New Jersey. Welcome, Jersey. This better not be a Jersey takeover again. Who is that?
Shaza, Austin, Texas.
Shaza is in the house. How are you? Good to have you on tonight.
Shaza. This is Coach Vivian White, Rose Sharon, Texas.
All righty, Coach Viv White in the house. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Guys, we're going to get started here in a moment. If you haven't done so, please state your name, where you're calling from. We'd love to say hello to you. Glad you've made it on to the Mastermind session tonight. We've got a special guest, and I cannot hardly wait to hear from this young lady tonight. And she's going to give us obviously some, I never call them tips and tricks. I call them strategies and suggestions and all of those great things that she has been applying into her business to become a top 20 income earner and of course an ambassador diamond in It Works Global. So welcome to the call. If you haven't had a chance to do so, please state your name. I'll take introductions for the next 66 seconds. If you haven't done so, please state your name, where you're calling from. This is your time to shine. Rep your city. Give us your name and where you're calling from, please.
Chantel from New Jersey.
Oh my God, it's going to be a New Jersey takeover. I can already tell. Hey, Chantel, how you doing?
I'm blessed. How are you?
I'm excellent as always. Who else do we have that's not from New Jersey?
Sylvia Anderson, Cypress, Texas.
Who is that from Texas?
Sylvia Anderson from Cypress, Texas.
Okay, Sylvia from Cypress, Texas, down in the red state. All right, who else do we have out there? Go ahead and state your name, where you're calling from.
I'm Joy from Montana.
Okay, Montana is in the house. That's what I'm talking about. Joy, welcome. Who else do we have out there? We've got Texas, we've got Montana, of course, we've got New Jersey representing. Who else? Do we have anybody from Florida? Who else do we have out there?
Ruth Bradford from Dallas, Texas.
Okay, Miss Ruth Bradford, Dallas, Texas is in the house. Welcome, everybody. Good to have you on. Who else do we have out there? We've got about 30 more seconds and we're ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, John and Courtney Benson from Maine.
Uh-oh, Maine is in the house. Welcome, the Bensons. Good to have you guys on as well. Well, guys, let's go ahead and get the call started. I know we've got several people in the waiting room. I'll be bringing them on, obviously, as we get the call started. I want to welcome you on to the Mastermind session tonight. Obviously, this is a call that we do each and every single Monday. It's open to the entire company, open to the entire organization. And what's so amazing is that we've got people from different teams, but not only different teams, different companies that gather every single Monday to hear strategies and techniques of how to not only take their business, but to how to take their life to a whole nother level. And so I'm excited to be on tonight. My name is Jared Wilkins, a 60-day presidential in the company, number 89 in the company so far. And I'm excited to be on tonight because tonight we get a chance to really glean and learn from somebody that has gone out and done some amazing things in our company, touching lives all over the world. You know, when I had a chance to meet her and her husband and hear a little bit about their story of what they've done together inside of this business, it was absolutely inspiring. And so tonight you're going to hear a little bit about her story, but most importantly, you're going to hear about the techniques, the strategies, and the systems that she and her team are using to become top 20 income earners inside of It Works. They are ambassador diamonds inside of It Works, and they are just phenomenal human beings and leaders. And so, are you out there, Mrs. Vargas? Are you there? Are you there? Are you there?
Yes, I am. Hi, Jared. Thank you.
Hello. Well, it's so good to see you. Thank you for being on the Mastermind and agreeing to come on and just really share with us how you feeling.
I'm feeling great. Thank you so much for the invitation. I am so excited for this. Thank you. And I got to rep my city too. I'm in Las Vegas.
Vegas is in the house. I love it.
I couldn't say it. Everyone was saying theirs. I'm like, hold up. I'm in Las Vegas.
Yes, indeed. And we're going to have a lot more people coming on and sharing theirs as well. So that is truly exciting. So, you know, let's dive right into it. I want people to get as much as they can from you tonight. I know you've got your team meeting and everything else you've got immediately after this. So I want to dive right in. You know, everybody that's on here, they probably, I don't want to take for granted that they've heard your story or know how you got started, obviously, in the business. I've heard a little bit about your story, but tell us real quickly, tell us how you were introduced to It Works, how long you've been with the company as well, and what it is that, you know, attracted you to It Works, and just a little bit about your story of how you got started and what you did to get going.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm 28 years old. So when I got started, I was 21. This upcoming January, I will be celebrating 7 years with It Works. And it's crazy how fast time has just flown by. But anyway, I got started when I was 21, living paycheck to paycheck. What first attracted me was the products. And then I saw a post that you can make an extra income. At the time, I was already looking for an extra income. I was looking for a second job. Out here in Las Vegas, you know, it's of course in the Strip. You could be working in the casinos and stuff. I had a casino as a restaurant hostess. I had a job at one of the casinos as a restaurant hostess. But even then, I was still living paycheck to paycheck. And so I really needed a way to make an extra income because I had racked up a ton of credit card debt. Honestly, at 21, I was living the party scene out here. I was that girl partying 6 nights out of the week.
Oh.
And honestly, I was pretty lost in life. I was already calling it quits to college, and I just needed a way to make an extra income. And so at that time, I had no idea how bad it was really until I got out of that situation. I was dealing with negative people, the people I just should not have been around. I was coming out of a toxic relationship. I had a ton of credit card debt and you name it. And so mentally, I didn't realize that I was actually going through depression. I wasn't, valuing myself, my self-worth and everything until until you're on the other side, you don't really know how bad it is when you're there. And so I found It Works through social media on Instagram. I jumped on it. I didn't even have the $99 to get started. I had to wait till I, of course, gathered the money, got my payday, all that stuff. But I used to be the girl borrowing money all the time from payday loan centers. That's just kind of how I grew up. And I thought that was normal. And then it came to a point where, I almost got evicted from my apartment. I was literally paying for groceries with coins. And I remember that night, I promised myself I would never allow myself to get down to that level again. And I said, I got to change my life. Absolutely. So I stopped partying. I completely got rid of anyone that was toxic, negative in my life. And then I realized I was alone. And I said, okay, this is how it's got to be. If you want to change your life, if you want to be successful, I was willing to take myself out of that circle and, put myself in a new circle of people that were, inspiring me, encouraging me. I dove right into self-development. I started really just changing my mindset. And it's crazy because at the time I didn't even know what self-development was. I was just watching videos and listening to positive things. And little did I know my life started changing. Everything started changing, my performance at my job, my performance in my business. At that time, I was then a timeshare sales agent. I had moved around to do a few different jobs, and in timeshare sales, it's obviously like a commission-based kind of job. And so I had to do a lot with mindset. And then along with my, with doing the self-development and everything, I ended up becoming the top sales agent for that company. And my life started changing really quickly with business and my job at the time. But then I applied the same type of mentality, I would say, into my business. And I will tell you guys this, for an entire year, I had the biggest fear ever, and it was the fear of building a team. When I joined It Works, I told my leader, I'm happy with just making a few, extra $100 a month. I'm going to be getting the loyal customers. I'm happy with that. I don't want to build a team. That's just not for me. I closed that door right off the bat, and I closed it for an entire year. And then it just took one little event here in Las Vegas that changed my mind. It just blew my mind away. And it was just a very small, try it, one team, one mission kind of event. And I heard a lot of people, a lot of their success stories. I met ambassadors and everything. And that night was my D-Day, which is my decision day. That you never forget your decision day, because that day, it's the day that changes everything for you, for your entire business. And so that day I came out of that event, and I just remember telling a friend of mine, telling my mom, telling a friend of mine, like, I am going diamond. I am about to start building a team. I don't care how long it takes me. I'm going ambassador. That's the first time ever I claimed I'm going ambassador. I don't care how long it takes me, but I'm going ambassador. And I had so much fire in me that night that when I left that event, you guys, I was a distributor still. I had never promoted. And in 60 days, I promoted to double diamond. And I became one of the top enrollers of the company. And I've been since. And it's incredible what your mindset can do. It's incredible what one decision can do. And it's really all in you. So after that, life changed pretty quickly, because Double Diamond, at Double Diamond, I was I've always been a high paid rank because of the enrollments. And I, then bought the house at 22 years old, said goodbye to that job. And then, became transitioning from an employee to a full-time business owner, which was another one of those get adjusted kind of moments. But I knew that here's the thing, you guys. People thought I was crazy. I had just bought a house, a brand new custom built home. I had said goodbye to that job. And so now my full income became It Works. And the thing is that I gave myself no other option. This was my A option. I didn't have a B, C, or D, because I knew that I needed to be successful in this. I wanted to become successful in this. And for that, I didn't have eyes or time for anything else, really. That's how I looked at it. And so I just game planned. I said, all right, what's my next rank? Triple diamond. Here we go. Hit triple diamond. Then we hit presidential, then ambassador and all that. But in between that, what took me triple diamond, I will say, a lot of the things I tied them together with some goals. So for example, at triple diamond, I was, my husband and I were at the time, he actually proposed to me during that time. I had also retired him from that, from a job that he was in retail that year. And together we said, okay, how much debt do we have? We had $55,000 of debt together. And because we wanted to start a wedding, we wanted to start our life. We wanted to have a wedding and everything with zero debt. We had to make a game plan to pay off all that debt. And we sure did. We paid off all the $55,000 of debt, loans, you name it. And how did we do that? Building, fast starts, promoting, building diamonds, going to the next rank, helping a ton of people reach their goals as well. And little did we know all that. We were just so focused on paying off our debt that we got set up to go presidential. And the following year in March, we went presidential. And that was amazing. That was incredible. A month later, we were able to plan our wedding, destination wedding, and honeymoon, paid all off in cash. And we've been traveling. We always travel. We love traveling. We did that for a little bit. That was fun. And then we had our little baby girl. So now we're a little bit more calm, not so much of the traveling, but our little one, she's a year and a half, and it's been the biggest blessing to both be at home, never miss a moment with her. It's crazy how fast they grow, but to know that I've been there every step of the way, every second, haven't missed anything with her. Blessing. And this year, I have the honor to say that our team reached Ambassador Diamond in May, and that was a crazy run on its own.
Yes.
And it's just been a wild ride. I will say, you guys, every single year since 2015, I have not claimed any other rank besides Ambassador Diamond in my dream board. I didn't care how long it took me. I was willing to do whatever it took to get to Ambassador. And then it's not like something that happened this year or from day to night. It's a dream that's been on the works for 5 years, for over 5 years.
Wow. So 5 years. And for those of you guys taking notes, just understand, Ambassador Diamond is 250,000 in volume for the month. 250,000. Now, I don't know if you knew this, Eliana, but Ambassador Diamond, when we had the modification done, where they reduced the structure from 5 legs down to 3, the original structure used to be about 125,000 in volume. And with the new structure of 3, although it's smaller structure, it's more volume. It's 250,000 in volume with not a personally, but with a presidential leg and 2 other triple legs. That's the structure for Ambassador. And what I'm gathering is, you said it's taken you 5 years from your D-Day. I heard you. Your D-Day, your decision day, to get your manifestation day. It took 5 years. Now, some of us have been on this journey for 5 days. Some people have been on this journey for 5 weeks, and they look like they've been on the journey for 5 years. Because I always tell people this, and I want you guys to write this down as I ask this next question, that victory or defeat has a look, but victory has a sound. Defeat may have a look, but victory has a sound. And so I want to now you've given us the glossy, I call it our stage story. Yeah. How many of you know what I'm talking about? The story just got in, I made a decision, the right people showed up, I just started team building, and man, everybody jumped in, and boom, 5 years later, Ambassador. So I want to dig into it. I want to dig deep into the process or the vicissitudes that you had to go through and grow through along the way. Talk to me about that point of the decision. You're a distributor, now you got to go to Diamond, you come to a major event. So that's checkpoint number 1, guys. Here's some transferable truths you ought to be taking notes. A major event, major events, all major decisions, write it down. All major decisions happen at major events. We've got a major event coming up, a virtual conference coming up. You cannot afford to miss it. Why? It is a major event, and that is where your major decision to build this business will be made. Eliana, let's go out and I want to ask, what did it look like? You're one of the top recruiters in the company, and top recruiters in It Works is not, 3, 5, 7 people a month. This thing is ridiculous. Y'all are enrolling. I heard some young lady say she enrolled 40, 50 people. I'm like, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Now, it's deep when you say Jesus Christ of Nazareth. That's a mind blow. So tell me this, what is your process for how you find these people? What are you making phone calls on your cell phone? Are you talking to your warm market? Are you doing everything social media? Walk me through that. And here's what I want you to do, though. I want transparency for these people. Let us know what that looks like. I don't want to, I want people to feel empowered for that process of going through the numbers, going through the no's, going through the rejections, the no-shows, the being on the phone till whatever time it is required to get it accomplished. But what does your day look like, or how do you go about finding new people to sponsor into the business?
Absolutely. So I don't think, the people in my eyes, I'll never run out. You know, a lot of people end up having, you know, I don't know who to ask. Nobody's saying yes, this and that. But you just have to get in the mindset. I think the most important part is have to get in the mindset for you to attract the people that you want. So it's very important that you write down the characteristics of the kind of person and people you want in your team. I remember journaling so much about this, exactly how I want my team, exactly how I want to attract power couples, you know, driven people, independent people, motivated, self-starters type of people. But for me to be able to attract those people, I had to become one of them myself. And so the more I started just thinking about the kind of people I wanted in my team, I honestly just put it out there. I mean, I know you hear it all the time. You put it out in the universe, you start attracting it, you start manifesting it, but you also have to get in the mindset that it's coming, that all the work that you're putting in, it's really going to pay off. You may not, you know, I remember there's times when I would send messages and not one person would reply. I remember one time on one sitting, I sent 80 messages and not one person replied. And I was like, wow, that's harsh. But I said, you know what? Tomorrow's a new day. And I would kind of have a 5-second pity party. And then that tomorrow was the next day. You know, I never, how do I say, I never dwelled in those bad moments or in those times of frustration. I was never stuck in there. If I knew there was a goal to me, if I knew there was a rank to me or anything to me, I knew it was going to come somehow. Even my process of going ambassador that month alone was insane. Our team and I pulled together, you know, as an entire team, we pulled over 117,000 in volume for 2 months in a row. And that's something we had never done before. I mean, we were doubling, tripling our entire organization's volume. And, you know, even the ambassador month ending over 300 and something thousand in volume. So it's just one of those things where you decide, you put in the work, you have the faith, and you just make it happen. Honestly, it is a lot of, how would I say it? There's a lot that goes into it. There's not a specific task that I will tell you is the magical task, because for me, I'm big on trying everything. You know, if messaging is working, if attraction marketing is working, if you got to make the phone calls, I will tell you my month of ambassador, we signed over, like my husband and I together, we signed over 60 customers. And I will tell you that 90% of those closings, you know, the closing would happen on the phone. I knew that the fastest.
Whoa, no, hold on, Screw. Hold up, back. Okay, so let me pause. Station identification. I think we just scared some people off. You talk. Rewind. The month you went ambassador, this was May 2020.
Yes.
This is not 1920, but May 2020. You and your husband made how you enrolled 60 loyals?
Over 60 loyals.
Over 60 loyals, and the majority of them were people that you were talking to on the phone?
Absolutely. And for the first time ever talking to them, ever.
Okay. All right. So hold on. All right. If that helped you, get in the chat, say it helped me. So you actually picked up your telephone, because here I want to get deep on this, because right now with social media, with Instagram and Facebook and with YouTube, we've got a premier focus on those platforms, which is great, and people are killing it. They're crushing it. And so I want to understand, because I know you and Caesar, you guys have done incredibly well leveraging social media. So I need to understand why we're on the phone. Does the phone work? What type of phone is it? Is it an iPhone? Is it an Android phone? We need to know what's going on with the phone.
So I got to tell you guys, it's, you know, and this has always been like this. I've been in It Works for almost 7 years. And I will tell you that the best, most effective way to close somebody is on the phone. It doesn't matter how beautiful your social media is. It doesn't matter how many followers, how many likes you get. The most important thing is to get people on the phone, because I just knew we were on time crunch. It was the month, you know, we said we're going ambassador. It's a yes or a yes. I mean, this is the month. There's no way back. And so we knew we needed to get people on the phone. Why? Because on social media, yes, you plant the seed, but you're back and forth with them. there's a lot of back and forth conversation. You need to say, hey, do you have a minute? Do you have 5 minutes? When can I schedule a call with you? When is a good time for me to call you? Are you available right now? You just have to get them on the phone. And then the excitement is what closes them, and then you got to help the people either find the package, the best package for their needs, whether they're wanting to lose weight or whether they're wanting to become a business partner. You want to talk with them with, it's emotion. You want to connect with their emotions, whether it's as far as business or as far as, customer. But it's always going to be the emotion. And you guys, I will tell you this, I was closing like $300 like customers every single time. It was crazy. They were just saying yes to everything. And I'm telling you, a lot of it had to do with mindset. I already knew when I was on the phone with them, they're going to buy. That's it. I'm going to put in the order right now. My gosh, I just knew something so special was happening. Literally, I have chills. Something so special was happening. And it wasn't just for me. Here's the thing. It wasn't just me enrolling all those customers. Our entire team was experiencing this.
Okay.
I had team members that were doing even more than me, that were closing so much volume. I mean, everyone was on the phone left and right. A girl went triple diamond from phone calls. And I will tell you this, like, phone calls will always work. I just had one of my newbies go Ruby in 30 days, and she did it all by phone calls. In her first month, she enrolled 40 customers and 6 distributors, and all was through phone calls. And on social media, she's still a newbie on social media. She still has not gotten the hang of it all. But you know what? That was an eye opener once again, because it's all about the phone calls. This girl has not really tapped into stories that much. She still needs to work on a little bit of her social media presentation. She hasn't tapped into TikTok, which a lot of people are, blowing up with. She just got on the phone and she was not afraid. This is one thing I'm so amazed with. This girl is brand stinking new, has never done social media before. Network marketing before. And she just was not afraid to message and was not afraid to get people on the phone. She closed 40 customers in her first month.
Wow. So tell me this, we've got, for those of you taking notes, write down social media strategies when it comes to, she talked about stories. And I'm being told you've got to be consistent with these stories, right? Posting in your stories. Obviously, you've got Instagram. People are killing it on Instagram. TikTok. You see everybody doing a little bounce thing on TikTok. Everybody been seeing that, right? It's been great, very, very cute to see. So you've got all that, and now we've got phone. I want us to not miss the message of what she's sharing, because a lot of times what I'm learning is the wake-up calls, or those let me see how I want to position this. I call them correction points. When you look at the market, the stock market, right? You pull up any publicly traded company, you'll see them go up, you see them come down. You see the ticker go up, comes down. Even with the foreign exchange market, you see go up, come down, go up, go down. They call it a bull run and a bear market. So it's bull up, bear down. But here's what I never forget, going to a leadership training about our business and network marketing. And the mentor that was talking, he was earning at that time over $1 million a month in income as a distributor in commissions. And he was talking about the correction points that your business goes through. Typically, when you go up, it sometimes comes down, and that down point is the correction point. That's the point where now you can pay attention. So hopefully, wherever you are in your business, some people's business is going through the roof right now. Some people, you may be at a correction point, and a call like this is so you can get the information to correct what you probably may be missing. One of the elements that we may be missing may be phone calls. Some of you, an element that you're missing may be TikTok. Others, it may be Facebook. It may be Instagram. But in this correction point, there's something that you need to apply. I want to stay in this vein about phone calls. So when she's making these calls, is she making calls to potentials when it comes to loyal customers? And if that's the case, what is she saying? Do you know what she's saying? How's she going into it? I want people to know and feel empowered that they can pick up the phone and say something to someone.
Absolutely. So when I go on the phone with let's just say a potential customer, there's just 3 things I ask them. Do they like coffee? Do they normally feel bloated or constipated? And are they eating healthy? And just by those 3 questions, that's just the starting point. I already know to offer coffee, to offer maybe fat fighters greens. And, if they feel constipated or have been feeling bloated or anything, I usually ask, when's the last time you did a cleanse? And so usually I'm going to sell the cleanse and the celery, because I always explain to them the cleanse is just a 2-day colon cleanse. The celery is a 30-day supply, and it'll continue detoxing. And then, I go on and ask, how much weight do you really want to lose? What are your eating habits like? I never dig in their pockets before, I always assume that they're going to buy the biggest package if they're really interested in losing that much weight, whether it's 10 pounds or 50 pounds. And then after that, it's just, I'm telling you guys, it's the emotion. It starts with being a product of the product. I personally love the cleanse. I love the celery. I love the coffee. A lot of the products that I'm selling, I already love them. So I speak with them with passion. I speak with naturally, it just comes out. I do this in the morning. I take this. This is what I did to lose the weight after my baby girl. And then, hey, I'm already placing orders right now. Would you like me to place yours too now that we're on the phone? I'll just need some information. And that's it. And then, as far as distributors, potential distributors, you want to definitely ask things like, okay, what are your goals? What do you do right now? Get to know them, relate with them, in any type of way. If they're living paycheck to paycheck, hey, I understand, almost 7 years ago, I was living paycheck to paycheck. How many kids do they have? Are they married? Things like that. And what do you expect from this business? What are your fears? One of the biggest things I love tackling before anyone signs up is their fears. I like to get rid of those objections right away, because if we don't tackle them in the beginning, once they sign up, they will ghost you because those fears were never talked about. And so it's very important that they can easily share with you what those fears are, what those objections are, so that you can also take them through that bridge. A lot of people have the same kind of fears. They don't know if if they'll get customers. They don't know if they'll be good at social media. They're scared. They're shy. I mean, a million different things. Wow. And then, the other day I actually came across one of my potential distributors, and she said, she said, I'm just a mom. She's like, I forgot how to take care of me. She's like, I haven't even worked on myself or even ever gone after a goal of mine or anything. And I said, that's exactly why you need to do this. And I understood at that point that money wasn't necessarily the her motivation right there. It wasn't necessarily what she needed. I said, you know what? And this is where you got to learn to talk to different types of people. I said, this business is more than just making money and the products. This is a community of people that are going to help you. This is a self-development kind of business. I mean, everything you're going to gain out of this business, how my faith has changed because of this business. I literally had to tell her that this isn't just, posting on your stories. This isn't just making an extra income. And that blew her mind away. And even the fact that we're a Christian company blew her mind away. So sometimes you have to talk about those things, because the reason why somebody joined is not the same reason why the other person joins.
Talk about where you found some of your top leaders, or how you found them, because now I'm hearing the relationship. I'm hearing what I'm gathering is communication, right? But talk to me about where you found these leaders. How did you find them? Did you find them on social? Were they girlfriends of yours before? Because it works as your very first network marketing company that you built.
Absolutely, my first one ever.
So you didn't bring a team of people with you and any of that. This is like, you just, as they would say, you got it out the mud.
Exactly. Yeah. I had no idea what network marketing was. I was terrified, just like everyone else. But my goodness, some of my top leaders have first of all, they were all strangers. I had no idea who they were before it works. And because the people that I did know, they're actually not in the business.
Okay.
Outside of it works are not in the business whatsoever. So now these people that were strangers now have become my best friends. I mean, our team is like our second family. And some of them have come from Facebook, some of them have come from Instagram, and you just never know who you come across. Right now, my presidential diamond, she came from Facebook, and the first 3 months when she joined me back in the day, she did nothing. I thought she was gone. The first 3 months, she did nothing. So don't ever write anyone off. And then she came back. She had a life-changing experience that after she got pregnant and stuff. And then she was ready, and she went diamond in 5 months. And she was actually my presidential for our ambassador. And she's got a huge, huge organization. So a lot of our team is pretty much 99% Latino. So we are very, very bilingual. Lots of stuff has to be done, twice, English, Spanish, the content, the trainings, the calls, you name it. But it's been so fun. It's been so fun. And the stories you hear from these people, it's incredible. One of her girls, which is her triple diamond that went, triple with phone calls. This one girl, matter of fact, she only speaks Spanish, but she used to work in the farm, like picking onions, literally. And she's my age, and for her to be a triple diamond right now, she's living her dream life. She's never seen this kind of money, and she did it all literally through closing people on the phone. She would just get anyone on Facebook or Instagram on the phone. I just think it's the fastest method to close somebody. Now, how do you get these kind of people? Well, first you want to be able to attract them. And so that's where a lot of the attraction marketing comes in play. That's where you want to be consistent on social media. Yes, you want to attract people with great posts. I'm really big on making sure the caption, not only the picture looks good, but the caption for me is very important, because that's where I connect with people emotionally. I always tell my team, if you're not connecting emotionally with people, there's never going to be someone interested necessarily. And I'm not saying that any other type of random post yes, it'll interest people, but it's really the emotion that will get people to enroll. And then of course, we've always heard it, but our constant posts, our stories and things like that, it's pretty much just like a follow-up, because the girl that just joined and went Ruby in 30 days, she's watched me for 6 years.
Wow.
So
Wow.
6 years.
So your story has followed up with her.
Yeah,
your success story. Wow. So I'm listening to, obviously, how you're going about, posting and promoting. Tell me this, when you sponsor a new person, on average, how many people do you guys recruit a month, distributors, on average?
Right now, we've honestly lowered our enrollments. I've been a little bit more on just the coaching part, because I will tell you guys this, being a top enroller, it does come a lot with the ups and the downs. And I would say, the ups, it's amazing. Of course, who wouldn't want to be a top enroller? But the downfall is that I wasn't able to be there 100% for all the people I wanted to be there for. And so that kind of just crushed me a little bit. And after Ambassador, I said, okay, I'm going to do a little bit things. I'm going to do a little more different. I wanted to try steps to success, and I wanted to try really coaching these people. And matter of fact, 2 of these girls that allowed themselves to be coached, because one thing is you want to coach people, but another thing is they got to be willing to let you coach them. And 2 of those people went Ruby in 30 days, and I actually had nothing to do with it. And so the girl that just went Ruby in 30 days, 40 customers, 6 distributors, she did it all by herself. And I just coached her. And I've been trying new things after Ambassador. We have our team page where we have videos and things like that. But I wanted to try things completely different this time around, now that I'm building my 2.0. And I wanted to coach these people just one-on-one on FaceTime. And that was what took these people Ruby in 30 days.
Mm-hmm. So when you coach them, what are you telling them to do? Because I like for people to have a blueprint and a guide or an idea of some of the things that leaders are doing. We have different strategies or different techniques. Some people are better on social or using voice notes. Some are better on the phone. Some are more personal in person. But the overlapping idea of principles is still the same thing. And so I want you to talk about, for example, these 2 new ladies that you talked about that went Ruby. Now, for those of you taking notes, Ruby, I tell people all the time, Ruby is the believer's pen. That's the position you get a person to, and it takes belief to get there. But once a person goes to Ruby, now they can see Emerald. They can see from Emerald to Diamond. And once you get them to Diamond, the destination for where they want to grow to is completely in their hands, right? So my job as a coach is to assist this person to get to Ruby. That's why Mark and corporate came out one team, one mission, 1,000 rubies. It's all about rubies, right? So talk about when you get your coaching, you get a new person that you've enrolled into the business as a distributor. However you've enrolled them, whether they came from Facebook, they came from Instagram, they came from TikTok, they came from your phone, wherever they came from, however you attracted them, now they're in the business. What's the next step? You just sponsored Jared and Portia Wilkins. What's our next step? What are we doing?
I immediately get you on a FaceTime, or I schedule a FaceTime as soon as possible.
That
Because
sounds like a game planning session. Is that what we're doing?
no, that's the getting to know you. I'm
Okay, okay.
not necessarily game planning, getting to know you, because I do want to, I want to feel the person out. I want to see what their excitement's like, and I will say, I've enrolled a few other people in the last few months, but first of all, some of these people have not wanted to do a FaceTime with me.
Okay.
Some of these people got scared when I told them that's not the right way of posting. And so, that just tells me they're not coachable, and so I don't really spend my time. I wouldn't say, I'm here. I always leave the ball's in their court. I'm here whenever they're ready to be successful. But we always hear it. We run with the runners, and it's just so much more fun like that. But anyway, these two girls were ready. These two girls were hungry. And one of the things is very important. They've been watching me for a long time. So when they absolutely decided they were ready to come and just be successful. They were extremely coachable. When I got on a FaceTime with each of them, I just got to know them. I got to know their story, what really is, behind it all, what made them join, what their fears are. And here's the one thing. If their fears were, let's just say, doing videos on Instagram, or their fears were talking to people, I told them, get on those fears right away. I actually had the girl that just promoted last month, I had her come over my house. We did some stories together. I just kind of threw her in for a second, but I just said, look, you got over your fears right away. The other girl was super scared of doing just, even your coffee or your celery in the morning on stories. Now there's not a day that I don't see her on her stories. You just have to kind of force them a little bit to tackle those fears. But one of the things is very important. These girls want it that bad. These girls, I really didn't have to, to push so much on them. They really wanted it. And how do I know that they really wanted it? They were getting on all kinds of trainings. They were getting on work hour Zoom, power hour Zooms without me even telling them. Things were posted on the team page, and they were just joining these things. They were getting tips from other leaders. Some of them one of them was actually getting tips on YouTube from other leaders, and she was already applying them. She was not waiting for me to tell her what to do. Now, one thing I will say, I am very, I like to take things step by step. After I explain to them eSuite and their tax form and all that stuff, first things first is 6 loyal customers. I don't like to overwhelm people with, Ruby chart and going to get distributors and all this stuff. To me, it's very important that they know and learn how to close a deal with a customer. That is so important for me, because if you don't know how to close a deal with a customer, how can I put you out there to do a business post and to try and teach somebody else how to do it? So to me, it's very important that they get their 6 customers. And once they did that, I'm like, all right, let's start getting some team members. This is how you do this. And they were just getting customers and team members and everything. And both of them, I actually told them, because they were both getting a lot of customers. And it's crazy. Surprisingly, both of them did it through their phone. That I just thought about it. They both closed people through their phone. I right away said, you know what? It's time for you to enroll your husband. Do you want to make an extra income as far as 2 paychecks in your household? And so they both enrolled their husband. And then I taught them their first fast start is going to be their husband. Now you go ahead and enroll 6 customers into their website. And they did that. And that's when they first got their first bonus, and they were excited. And then of course they earned their shopping spree and their husband's shopping spree. And then I said, now go find 2 other distributors. And we were just getting them charted. And then I just taught them a little bit of TreeViewer, how to chart and everything, and boom, it was over. I mean, they both went. When I helped the first girl get to Ruby, I was like, wow, that's crazy. That happened through just FaceTime, one-on-one. She didn't even watch any other training videos. And then I did it with the second girl, and it worked the same way. So I'm just trying new things. I will tell you, you want to try different things. You want to, as far as leadership, as far as, how you train your newbies, don't be afraid to try new methods. If something doesn't seem to be working, if something doesn't seem to be giving you excitement, try new things. You know what I mean? And then you just roll with it.
I love that. One of the philosophies we have on our team is the 6 loyal customers. We call it taking a person to Star Achiever. So we've actually created a title called Star Achiever, right? So our first objective, and it's extremely similar to what you are now doing. That's why I'm so team. I'm excited about what she's saying. She went to ambassador, and everything that she's talking about, oh my God, I'm so inspired with what she's doing now is what we've been teaching. So the first thing when you talk about getting on a FaceTime with them, we call that a game planning session. This is our filling out process. We're looking to find out, why are you doing this? Why did you get started? Right? Tell me about yourself. Why are you getting started? What is it that you want to accomplish within your first 90 days of the business? We're going through all of kind of that filling out process, so we know who it is that's joining our team. We just don't want to throw a bunch of people in the system. And now it's like, okay, well, what happened to the 30 people you sponsored last month? I don't know. Well, you got to have a system to it, right? So exactly what you just described is exactly what we've been talking about here. So we get them in, we have the game planning session. Then the next assignment is for them to become a star achiever, get their 6 loyal customers. We don't want to talk about executive. We don't want to talk about Ruby. I don't want to hear about your going emerald and diamond. I don't want to hear about you becoming an ambassador. I want you to become a star achiever. Get those 6 loyal customers, because we know they get the shopping spree like you talked about. It also, what we've discovered is, and you tell me if this is what you're seeing too, it helps build their confidence, right? They start getting a little swag to them, right?
Yeah, I mean, I love it. One thing they loved is our time together. They were now these girls call me like, hey, I need some Eliana time. And it's
Yes.
nice for me to be able to be there for them, because like I said, it was awesome being a top enroller. But now this second time around, building my next ambassador account, I want to try things a little different. I want to try things a little different, because not that they were mistakes, because
Yes.
if you're not making mistakes, you're not growing.
Correct.
But it's like things that I learned from my first round that I want to do a little different this time, because exactly what you just said, Jared, we would put a lot of people in the system, and then I'm like, wait, who was she again? Or I don't know what happened to these people, and I will say this, oh my gosh, and I always tell people this crushed my heart. The month before we had our wedding with my husband and I enrolled 115 distributors.
No. Hold on. Wait a minute. My mic, I couldn't hear what you said. Say it a little slower. You enroll how many?
115 distributors. But
Shut your mouth and keep talking. You enrolled 115 distributors, and what happened then?
And guess what? I had to get married, and I only get married once. And so I had to make a decision, and that forever will crush my heart, because after the wedding came the honeymoon, and we were in Antigua in the Caribbean. I was in my destination wedding in Mexico. And I said, wow, like for me, it just it crushed my heart that I couldn't be there for those 115 people. And so of course you can believe what happens, because here's the thing, it's nice to tag people in the video what to do and all that stuff, but people want connection. People want you to kind of hold their hand at least those first 30 days. And so that's what I'm doing this second time around. And guess what? I am creating independent leaders. These girls that went Ruby in their first 30 days, guess what they're going to do now? They're going to go do the same exact thing to their girls. Matter of fact, they're already doing it to their team members. And I'm not even having to do anything. They already learned from me. They're going to go apply the same thing to them. I just go on my Instagram. I watch their stories. They look like they've been in the business for years. They're so incredible. I'm so proud of them. And this is just by me just taking my time to coach them in their first 30 days and actually be there for them. And that is why I have now, I've kind of taken my mindset off of being a top recruiter to now let's be a little bit more of a developer. And because being a top recruiter, I didn't necessarily have the time to really develop these people the way they should be. And so that's exactly why, I'm doing this now, and I'm seeing the growth. I'm seeing the retention. I'm seeing them become successful. And there's nothing better than seeing your newbie go Ruby by themselves. And so I'm excited. I'm happy. And you guys, I'm not tagging anybody on videos. This is literally, FaceTime calls every week, at least one. Like, hey, where are you at with your goal? Where are you at with your 6 customers? All right, where are you at with your next distributors?
Yes.
And then just kind of giving them a little self-development here and there, because of course they're going to go through obstacles. They're going to go through rejection and things like that. If they need you, of course, you got a text message right there or whatever, but I'm also not feeling crazy overwhelmed. I'm having fun. I'm fine. Not that I wasn't having fun before, but I'm doing it in a way where I'm not overwhelming myself, and I'm seeing them have success, and it's incredible. I mean, she's my girl on my 2.0, and she just went Ruby before I even went Ruby on my 2.0. That's how I'm telling you. I'm just like, it's not even necessarily about me and my 2.0. I'll tell you this much. For my 2.0, it's not really about me going diamond double and this and that. I want to show people how to do it, and it's going to go organically, because I'm going to teach them how to get there on their own.
I love it. You are speaking my language. I call it the law of decreasing responsibility, because I've never been a big recruiter. What I've learned to do is develop and deploy leaders, Eliana. So I'll sponsor them, I'll teach them, and we run together. Like I've got new people that I've just sponsored this month, and I'll probably this month of November, I'm calling November No Nonsense November. Write it down, everybody. No nonsense November. Like I'm not even playing with you, like at all. Well, I want to cuss right now, but I know that's gonna make y'all say that I'm not saved, but I'm really saved. But anyway, it's no nonsense November, right? So we're gonna plan we're gonna plan your goals. We're gonna plan it out, and exactly what you're talking about, Eliana. We're writing down the goal. We're communicating about it, but you're going out and doing the work. I'm not calling you. No, you got to go do the work. Just like I had to go do the work. Eliana, did you have to go do the work?
Absolutely.
Let me ask you this, because I want people to be empowered on here tonight. Because I want to close out with this, because I know you got to run in a second here. I was talking with your husband, and he talked about being at conference, and you said 99% of your team is Latino, right? About 99%?
Yes.
About 99% Latino. I want those of you that are still here paying attention, I want you to understand how to create what you don't see yet. You want to blow up your business in Maine? I want to show you how to do it. You got to see it. You want a team of, when I came to It Works, I looked around, I said, oh my God, there are no men builders. Where are the dudes? I said, you know what? Never mind. We'll create it. It's not here. We'll go out and create it. One of the things me and Caesar talked about was when you guys were at conference, and he looked around. He says, "Man, there was not a whole lot of Latinos." And this was maybe, I don't know, 2 years ago, whatever it was. You know better than I do. But I want you to talk about this, because I think it's so important for people to understand the power that they have inside of themselves. And this is not, I understand, when we start talking like this, I know it sounds esoteric and, oh, here they go with that corny stuff. But this, I almost said it. This stuff is real. This is real. And I know the type of income you guys earn and have earned, and some of you, we've talked. But I want you to talk about that moment where you guys were at conference. He looked around, he told me, he says, there are no Latinos here. We are going to go out and create that audience, that market. Nobody's doing it. It's not here yet. We're going to take the responsibility as leaders. You've never built a network marketing company before. You're not coming with a big team of people. You had never, gotten to 6 figures a year or 7 figures a year in network marketing. So you don't have, this track record that people say, well, okay, this is why they're successful. None of that existed. But I want you to talk about what that moment was like, why it was so significant, and how that fueled you to go out and say, you know what, we're going to create what they don't see yet. And now when we look at the Latino market inside of It Works, it's one of the fastest growing communities all over the world when it comes to It Works Global. And it started with y'all's decision and your leadership to create that. So talk a little bit about that, because we've talked strategy. We talked, guys, if you didn't get anything else you talked about in terms of how to do this, pick up your damn phones. All right, go ahead, Eliana.
I love it. Yes, that happened about 3 years ago, I think I would say. And yeah, every time we would go to conferences or green carpets, you just would not see a lot of Latinos at all.
Yes.
And it's crazy. You would go and when you would see the stage of all these ambassadors or even the Millionaires Club, there was nobody Hispanic, nobody Latino. So we were like, wow, we got to get there. And we're just so excited because we always had a vision for it. We always claimed it. We always said, we're going to have the biggest Latino team. We would, we just fill up our journals with that. We would just cast vision constantly for our team, constantly. And there was a time, you guys, where our team and we thought that maybe it's not in the Latino community. Maybe we should be recruiting, other type of people. And because we would see, let's just say all these American people in It Works. Like, it's just, we're like, all right, maybe it's not really about our type of community. And we said, no, you know what? No, we're gonna change it up. We're gonna find the people that really want this within our community. And then they started showing up, you guys. And we have some massive, massive recruiters that I wish you guys could meet, but they don't even speak a word of English. So it's crazy. They're literally, I mean, we can't even for example, we're under Christy Christensen. She can't even spotlight them in her team page, or I mean in her team Zooms and stuff, because they don't speak a word of English, and it's crazy to me. So of course we have to set that stage for them. But to me, it amazes me, not just our team, but even other sideline teams within It Works that are just growing massively. These last 3 years, there has been massive, massive growth within the Latino community, and so many people that are reaching, you know, triple diamond, presidential, that do not speak a word of English. And that just blows my mind. It blows my mind because they are here in the US. They're not just people in Mexico. They are here in the US, and they're just like anybody else with a dream and ready to hustle. And what I love about my community is that they're so loyal. They're literally, we're a tight-knit family. It's amazing. The friendships, the family, the local gatherings. It is, before COVID, you guys, we were doing weekly team meetings. We were having work sessions. And in between that, we were also doing opportunity meetings. And that was blowing up. I talked about this at conference on stage. And then of course we came back from conference and things got a little different. But it's the community. It's really the gatherings and things like that, that it will make a team just bloom, and just, my goodness, it'll stick together for a lifetime, I would say, you know, and it's amazing. And then I did want to mention a little bit about the downfalls, because I'm really big. Yes, we can talk victories and this and that, but I'm really, really big on talking about my downfalls. You know, there's many people that has came and gone in our team. There are lots of diamonds that have came, built, and left. I had a triple diamond leave this year, early on.
Me too.
Before I went in, and you know what, guys, I still went ambassador. She left in February. She's a triple diamond, a top recruiter, and we still went ambassador in May. So it's like, you know, God is going to prune your tree, whether he does it this year or next year. But you just got to know that when he prunes that tree, your team is ready. They're ready. And you got the team. Right now, I can honestly say we have our dream team. And, but I will say, you know, lots of time in my downfalls, in my lowest times of my business is where I learned my biggest lessons. And it just literally just took me to the next level, because exactly what you said right now, and, you know, in those down points is where you have that correction point. And we had lots of them, many. Till this day, I'm still having correction points. And I love those correction points because, you know, your business is always going to be up and down, but in those waiting moments, you really have to look around and see, you know, what can we fix to make better.
That is so true. Oh my gosh. I'm glad you talked about that, because there's some people that they have distributors quit and they think it's the end of the world. But you know, we all know people leave the business, and I'm very careful when people leave our teams or leave the business, not to demonize them. It just means our time is over, right? You know, we've had distributors to leave, we've had rubies to leave, we've had emeralds to leave, we've had diamonds to leave, we've had double diamonds to leave, we've had triple diamonds to leave. I know as we continue to grow, we're going to have presidentials leave our team. We're going to even have ambassadors leave our team. I already know that. People are like, oh, don't speak that. No, I know what we're dealing with. Ask Mark Pentecost. Has he had ambassadors leave his team, right? He's had black diamonds leave. So it's a part of the process. And so you talk about 7 years that you've been doing this. 7 years, not 7 days, not 7 weeks, not 7 months, but 7 years. Have you ever thought about, in those 7 years, Eliana, have you ever thought about leaving?
Absolutely not. That's one thing I am so proud of, you guys. Since the very beginning, this is something so interesting now looking back. Since the very beginning, I understood this was a business. And yes. I took quitting off the table since the very, very, very beginning, because that's what you do. I mean, literally, if you want to be successful, you got to take quitting off the table. But I've never once in my life thrown in the towel. I've never once thought about quitting. I've seen people come and go, and that has never really shaken me. Yes, it has gotten me down here and there, but I just knew whether I had to continue building rebuild. There's lots of times I will tell you this, you guys, in the beginning, I was helping friends build. I was helping some family members build. That took me, somewhere for a minute, but then I realized that's not the way to go. I want true leadership. I want
Whoa. You're about to skate past something important. I know we're closing. Explain what that means. I heard what you said. You said you were helping them build. Helping them build is so broad. I want to drill down. What do you mean by? I know what you mean, but I want everybody to hear what you mean. What do you mean by that? You were helping them build.
Well, at the time I was always recruiting a lot of people, so I had to definitely build teams. I had to build diamonds, build emeralds so that I could go to the next level. And, very early on, it's always been my mother's account, which is a very, very blessed account. And it's what's retired my mom for so many years. Over 3 years, my mom's been retired thanks to It Works. But besides my mom, I was building people, and they were not the right people. One of them were actually my best friend of 20 years. And right before she went diamond, she called and canceled. Never understood why. I remember dropping everything at Walmart and just crying my eyeballs out. And I said, okay, God, you're teaching me something, and that's okay. And it just wasn't my time, but I knew I was making all these little mistakes, but I was learning. And then I realized, like, I need to, it's about the leadership. I really need to build leaders. I really need to see who is running with me, who is really wanting to do this with me. And it took me about 2.5 years to really get my true leaders in my team. And I remember crying to my leaders so much, like, girl, where are the real leaders? Because you got a team full of leaders, but where are the people like me? Where are the leaders? Like, I'm working, I am hustling, I'm a top recruiter. I am your top enroller. Like, where are my people? But that's where I'm telling you guys, I don't think I was developing these people. And so there was really no true leaders under there. And even if they were, maybe I didn't even have the time to see it or recognize it, And so being a top enroller doesn't necessarily mean you're that top leader. Because like I said, I've had a lot of top enrollers leave our team, but they weren't the real leaders. Because the true leaders are here today. And those are the people that took our organization ambassador. And so a true leader to me is somebody that's willing to withstand a November, a December. And I'm not saying that they're like slow crushing months or anything, but it's somebody with a vision. They know what's coming January through May through August and towards the end of the years. They know that this time of year, we're literally planting seeds. We are setting up our 2021. They are ready for whatever's coming. Those are the real leaders. Those are the people I'm more than happy to build with. Now that these 2 girls went Ruby, what do you think I'm going to do with them, you guys? I am more than happy to help them build.
Yes.
Always one side, though. Always one side.
What does that even mean? I need to find out what that means. Only one side. What's that mean?
I will help people build only one leg. So.
Y'all got that? She's not going to build all 3 of your legs. She'll build, meaning she'll play some customers, she'll play some other distributors, but in only one of your legs. You got to go build those other 2. And this sounds like after they've gone Ruby or after they've hit a certain rank, and you that's kind of your strategy.
They kind of have to prove themselves this time around. Definitely. This girl proved herself. And I said, you know what, girl, I'm more than happy to build with you. I will help you build one leg, and you got to do your other side. And I don't build husbands ever. And so, that I just don't. And so, yeah, she's going to build her Ruby, and then she's going to take her husband Emerald, and I'm going to build her other side. And that's pretty much how it goes. Let's just say with anyone, if I do my part and they didn't do theirs, I'm sorry, that's not my fault. Like, they have to put in the work themselves. It's a team effort.
Yes. Well, you have shared so much. Y'all light up the chat. Let us know if you have gotten an aha moment or 2 or 3 or 10 tonight. Anything, Eliana, you want to say in closing? Y'all, come on, light up the chat. It needs to be lit up like a Christmas tree if you got some value out of tonight's mastermind session. I can't wait to get the recording back there. I want to hear this again. But Eliana, anything you want to share in closing? We're right at the top of the hour.
Absolutely. So I always tell anybody, and even our team, I tell this all the time, if you want to make ambassador kind of money, it doesn't matter how long it's going to take you, because here's the thing, you guys, in any job out there, there is no job out there that you're going to earn $30,000 or more each month. And so that's why from the very beginning, I said, it doesn't matter if it takes me 5 years or 10 years or 15 years to go ambassador. It was the goal. The goal never changed. Maybe the strategy, whatever else, the methods changed, but the goal never changed. So you got to figure out your goal You got to put it on your dream board every single year, no matter the ups and downs, no matter if you lose rank, and no matter if you take a 3 steps back, it doesn't matter. The goal never changes. And this is why the goal was achieved. And 5 years went like that, you guys. So the kind of money that we're making, it's just crazy that the fact that so many people give up because of whatever small stuff without realizing what they can achieve within just 5 years. You guys, 5 years is nothing. It really is nothing. So have fun, invite those setbacks, because I bet you, matter of fact, mark my words, in your setbacks, you will learn your biggest business, lessons ever. They will completely change your business, and you'll be so grateful for those setbacks. And then after that, those setbacks are going to teach your team when they go through those setbacks. I never ever, how do I say it? I never get really down for a setback, because I know I'm going to teach the next, our entire team what we went through, and inspiring our team that if we went through that and we got through it, they can as well. So be ready to take on any issue and just make it into an opportunity to grow and learn and apply into your business.
Well, that is phenomenal. Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard from none other than Ambassador Diamond Eliana Vargas. I am so pleased. I'm so excited about what you and your husband and your team have accomplished. You have given so many incredible nuggets tonight. People are lighting up the chat, and I can't wait to get this recording back out. Thank each and every one of you for being a part of tonight's mastermind session. I'm excited about next week's mastermind session. You're going to find out some incredible things as well to add to what you've heard tonight. So the takeaway for me tonight, and the takeaways for everybody tonight, is be consistent. Be consistent with what you're doing starting tonight. Tomorrow is election day in America. But hopefully you voted for yourself today and tomorrow as well. God bless you. God bless your families. And God most certainly bless your dreams. Goodbye, everybody.